just love hand-dyed items. I just do. I can't get over them. They're so cool. There are two things that I've identified that make contours from Darling Estelle different from other contours I've tried. Do you want to know? Keep watching. Hey, what's up? My name is Carmen. This is Cloth Diaper Review. I talk about cloth diapers and other things like that on the internet. Today, I am going to be featuring the second item in a two-part series that were so lovingly gifted to me from the company Darling Estelle. A couple months ago, I did an unboxing video, so you might recognize this beautiful contour that I'm going to be showing you today. And I want to thank Darling Estelle again so much for giving me the opportunity to try these items out and share my experience with all of you. I really appreciate it. Right, so we are going to be talking about this beautiful contour, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys two things that I think is different about this contour than other contours that I have tried. Now, I have mentioned before, I really do have a preference for contours. I really like pre-flats also. However, I do think that contours are a little bit more user-friendly, especially if you're worried about getting a leg seal. I think that pre-flats have a little bit more of a learning curve than a contour. So if you're kind of like, I really want to try something that's in what I call the flat family, but feel a little bit nervous, contours kind of seem very big, you got to learn how to fold all these things, try contour. Try contour is where I'm going to go with it. So first things first, let's take a look at the contour. So this contour is fully reversible. Both sides are gorgeous. Usually when you have a contour, you are going to have some sort of a trifold that's in it. Now sometimes they make different contours that have different pieces that will fold into it, so it's one big body of fabric, so it's not two separate pieces. But this particular one does come with a reversible trifold. Can we just look at this? I love this side. Now, I have a really hard time, I go back and forth, but I'm really like feeling this like very moody vibe. It kind of reminds me of the wallpaper that's in the background, but really like that. So trifold, and this trifold, similarly to the trifold that's in the fitted diaper that I did a video on, it's quite generously sized. So you are able to fold it, you know, different ways if you need to for different absorbency. Fold it long way, fold it short way. Very customizable, very good shape, good weight on there, really super absorbent also. Fabric content wise, this is a 3-layer bamboo cotton stretch French terry, and so is this one. So you're getting 3 layers of absorbency. Very nice. Let's get into the part that I've noticed that makes this different than some of the other contours that I have tried. First of all, we have a different shape. This shape kind of reminds me of an origami fold on a flat cloth diaper when you fold it in. That's the one thing that's a little bit different about it, is that there's a lot of space in the back to make sure that you are getting a good seal across the back. Also, this front wing center. These tabs, you know, this is the part that goes across the front of the baby. These are really long compared to other ones, and I like it because it wraps really well around the baby, and it makes sure that you have a good amount of space to be able, if you want to use a snappy, you know, when you fold it up here, along with the wings being so long. Sometimes once you get the wings on, I feel like sometimes the fronts of contours can be a little bit short here. So if you're putting a snappy in, sometimes you're just catching the what would be like the front layer on there, and that always makes me nervous because snappies are so dangerous. If you use a pin, just switch to pins. Honestly, in my opinion, pins are so much better than a snappy. But I really like the same thing with a pin. You want to have enough fabric to be able to actually get through both layers of the wings and go into the actual front body portion. And that is one of the first things I noticed was, oh my goodness, This actually, because my son's like kind of pretty skinny waist, is that it wraps so nicely and everything just like stays so nice and snug, because this has, then the fabric is kind of, obviously it's not like velcroed or anything like that, but there's a little bit, there's just less slip than it would on skin. So those are the two parts that I have found that makes this contour different from other contours that I've tried, and I've really enjoyed it. This is incredibly, incredibly stretchy. Beautiful fabric. Very beautiful fabric. All of the dyes have held up so nicely. And these have actually been through 2 strip and sanitize, which is very annoying, but a reality of having hard water. So the fact that these have held up, now I use hydrogen peroxide. I do not put bleach on my diapers in any event. I personally use hydrogen peroxide because it's safer on the fabric, and I think that that's why I haven't experienced a lot of the fading that I think would have happened had I used the bleach on them. Speaks to the quality also of the dye that's being used, along with someone who's very knowledgeable about how to get dyes to set properly. Now, anytime you have a hand dye, like, there's going to be some fading. That's just the nature of the dye. However, it's been very minimal on these, and I am so pleased with how these are still looking. You know, these are about 2 months old now, and they get very, very regular use in our home because I really enjoy the shape and the size, and I also just like really love the colors on there. I'm someone that if I don't like the print of a diaper, I just kind of don't want to grab it. As silly as that sounds, it just like makes me be like, I want to have joy in my life, and I want to be surrounded with things that bring me joy, even if it's something that seems so small as a diapering item. I want to focus on having a lot of happiness, and I'm so far from a minimalist. I'm not a minimalist in any way, shape, or form. I love having things that make me feel very happy, and I like to feel joy when I look at diapering items. Maybe you can relate to that, or maybe I just sound like completely nuts about that, but if I don't like the way that something looks, it can really affect how I feel about it. But when I look at, you know, this beautiful contour, or the beautiful fitted that also has, I just love hand dye on it. It's just so unique and beautiful. I feel very inclined to want to use them. So on top of this contour being functionally great, like super absorbent, awesome for the car, awesome for naps. I've used it at night. Now, when I do use a contour at night, I personally use a small hemp booster, just because that's how I do it. Contours just have a little bit less absorbency space as a pre-flat. So that's full disclosure what I do. But I've found this incredibly versatile, and I've really enjoyed using it on top of it being beautiful, and I liking beautiful things and wanting to be surrounded with these beautiful things. So similarly to the fitted that I reviewed, this is quite generous. Like there is a lot of sizing that I think that, or a lot of use that we're going to get out of this because of the generous sizing. Like, we definitely fold down the back on here, and usually I fold down the front on a pre-flat, but because I don't want to lose these awesome front wing tabs, I actually do fold down on the back. So we're going to continue to get a lot of love and a lot of wear out of this. I think that the sizing is awesome for something that's being considered a one size. And I believe that she also does have different sizing with it. Now, she just did recently change that I think there may be a couple of these, not this particular colorway, but I think that there may still be a few contours on the website. However, I don't believe that she's going to be regularly stocking them on the website, but you can still get them. You just need to contact her about them, and she will give you the information on pricing and what she would be available to create for you in terms of fabrics and colorways, or any sort of like textile designs that she's designed or something like that. So this item, don't be disgruntled if you go on the website and you're not seeing this on there. Just shoot her a message and she'll get back to you about how you can procure one of these items, because they are, I really like this contour. This has been a real treat to try out for all of you and be able to give you guys my opinions and how everything has worn for us and just my experience with it. I want to thank darling Estelle again so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about these just gorgeous items. The fact that they perform so wonderfully, they have far exceeded my expectations on them, and for entrusting me with something that you have very clearly put a lot of love into and a lot of your creativity into. So thank you so much for entrusting me with these wonderful items. So that is it. That's my thoughts, experiences with the contour from darling Estelle. If you are interested in any of the items that she has in her shop, she has day and night pre-flats, she has day and night butterfly pre-flats, fitteds, clothing for adults and children. She does a lot of really wonderful things. I'll make sure that all of that information is linked in the description box below. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm getting tongue-tied. We're gonna be done for the night. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that I see you again soon.